Welcome, tech enthusiasts and future AI moguls. You're listening to Navigating the AI Frontier, where we turn complex startup strategies into digestible bites of wisdom.
And by digestible, Mark means we'll try not to fry your neural networks, though I can't promise we won't attempt to generate a few laughs along the way.
Speaking of generating, today we're diving into the world of GenAI startups and how to map their financial ecosystems. It's like creating a treasure map, but instead of X marking the spot, we've got dollar signs and cost centers. All right, Tom, let's talk about making it rain in the world of GenAI. We're not just talking about a light drizzle here. We're aiming for a full-on money monsoon. What are some of the ways these startups can turn their AI prowess into cold, hard cash?
Well, Mark, it's like being at an all-you-can-eat buffet of revenue options. You've got your classic direct sales of AI products, the meat and potatoes, if you will. Then there's the subscription model, which is more like the bottomless mimosas of the tech world.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. Keep 'em coming, Tom. What else is on this revenue menu?
How about licensing fees for those secret sauce algorithms? It's like renting out your brain, but less messy. And let's not forget consulting services, because sometimes people need a human to explain what the AI is doing.
Ah, yes, the classic, I'll explain it to you like your 5 million parameters approach. Any more tasty morsels?
We've also got data monetization, with all the ethical trimmings, of course. And for the developers out there, API access fees. It's like selling tickets to the hottest AI nightclub in town.
And don't forget those sweet, sweet partnership revenues. It's like the tech world's version of, you scratch my neural network, I'll scratch yours. Now, Mark, we can't talk about making money without discussing where it all goes. It's time to map out those cost structures. What's eating up all the cash in these GenAI startups?
Well, Tom, first up, we've got R&D expenses. It's like feeding a very hungry, very smart child that never stops asking, why?
And let's not forget about computing infrastructure. It's the digital equivalent of trying to keep your lights on if your lights required their own power plant.
Then there's data acquisition and management. It's like being a digital hoarder, but instead of old newspapers, you're collecting terabytes of information.
Don't forget the human element, Mark. We've got salaries for AI researchers, engineers, and support staff. It's like assembling the Avengers. But instead of fighting Thanos, they're battling bugs and optimizing algorithms.
And of course, there's marketing and sales. Because even the smartest AI in the world needs someone to sing its praises from the digital rooftops.
Last but not least, we've got legal and compliance costs. It's like having a very expensive babysitter to make sure your AI plays nice with others and doesn't accidentally take over the world. Now, Tom, here's where it gets interesting. We need to look at how these revenue streams and cost structures play together. It's like orchestrating a symphony, but instead of instruments, we're dealing with cash flows.
Absolutely, Mark. It's all about finding that sweet spot where your costs are driving your revenue, and your revenue is justifying your costs. It's like a financial tango, sexy, complicated, and if done right, incredibly rewarding.
I love that analogy, Tom. And just like in tango, timing is everything. We need to consider how these elements evolve over time. Today's cost center could be tomorrow's profit powerhouse.
Exactly. It's like playing chess with your bank account. You need to think several moves ahead, anticipating how the AI landscape will shift and how that will impact your financial strategy.
Now, Tom, let's talk about how Wardley Mapping fits into all this. It's like having a financial GPS for your GenAI startup journey.
Absolutely, Mark. The Wardley map we're looking at is like a treasure map for AI entrepreneurs. It shows us where the gold is buried and where the dragons might be lurking.
I see what you mean, Tom. Looking at this map, we can see that our GenAI startup has a diverse range of revenue streams. It's like they've got their fingers in many AI pies.
Exactly. And that's a smart move. It's like not putting all your eggs in one basket, or all your data in one server, if you will.
The map also shows a strong focus on core AI capabilities. It's like they've built a solid foundation before trying to reach for the stars.
But there's always room for improvement, right? The map suggests they could optimize costs and diversify revenue even further. It's like fine-tuning an algorithm. There's always another decimal place of efficiency to be squeezed out.
And look at that recommendation for building a robust ecosystem. It's like creating a digital rainforest where every part of the business supports and nourishes the others.
Absolutely, Mark. The key takeaway from this map is the need to balance continuous AI innovation with scalable infrastructure and a thriving partner network. It's like juggling flaming torches while riding a unicycle. Impressive when you get it right, but it takes practice and skill.
Well, folks, we've navigated the treacherous waters of GenAI startup finances, mapped out the revenue streams, and avoided the cost structure icebergs. Remember, in the world of AI startups, your business model should be as adaptive as your algorithms.
Indeed, Mark. And just like training a neural network, developing a sustainable business model takes time, data, and a whole lot of iterations. But get it right, and you might just create the next big thing in AI.
That's all for today, AI Adventures. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. And remember, in the world of GenAI startups, may your revenues be high, your costs be low, and your AI never decide to take over the world. Until next time, keep innovating.